It's called a squirrel slam, sir.
Then those people have a right to say what to do in their community.
The typically sleepy village of Holly is anything but these days.
Shame on Holly, New York!
We love Holly! We love Holly!
At the center of all the noise,
Holly's fantastic!
squirrels. For the 7th year in a row, the Holly Fire Department held its Squirrel Slam fundraiser.
Yes, I'm all for it. It's a way of life out here, you know. That's the way we live.
Hunters as young as 12 years old can enter up to 5 squirrels for weighing. The biggest wins a prize.
It's wrong. I'm against the gun laws. They shouldn't have a gun until they're at least 21 or so, when they're well in their mind of what they should do and what they shouldn't do. I think they're wrong.
Holly fire officials would not say how much they even raised from the Squirrel Slam and whether or not they'll consider a different fundraiser next year.
Everybody has the freedom of speech and have their own opinions. I mean, that's what our governments and countries founded on.
You didn't have to be in Holly to hear of the Squirrel Slam or the controversy surrounding it. Online petitions and opinions circulated quickly. Despite the protests, the hunt went on, and so does the debate.
The time for change has come.
In Orleans County,
And I'm 1 county away, so now...
Amy Young, News 8.
Following an early morning fire at this home on Chi-Line Avenue, 8 people who used to live here are now trying to salvage anything that's left.
The top floor is where it's all gone. That's where I used to live.
Jim, who didn't want us to use his last name, first noticed smoke in his apartment just after midnight this morning.
I ran out as quickly as I could to get my neighbors out of the building because it looked like the smoke was coming very fast. It looked like it was coming from inside the walls somewhere.
Jim's apartment is one of 3 in the house. He's lived there for more than 20 years.
One thing that hurts, I was an artist, a lot of my artwork was destroyed, so. But I guess, they're just material things, as long as you're healthy, I guess. It's just the material loss can be a little hard on me.
Jim's able to find a few pictures and some other belongings worth saving. Everything he owns has been reduced to the trunk of his car.
Flurry! Come here, Flurry!
Vicki Sperry and her son live next door to Jim. They also lost everything. She's hoping to find her cat Flurry and a few keepsakes.
Pictures of my dad, he's passed away, and pictures of my oldest son when he was a baby. Just, stuff you can't replace. That's what kills you.
Vicki hasn't been to bed yet, and the severity of the fire is beginning to sink in.
Oh, I got a really big nervous breakdown coming soon. I've had 2 little ones, but I got a really big one coming.
For now, Vicki and her son will live with family. Jim is going to stay with a friend, and both are just thankful to be alive.
Everybody got out safely, and that's the main thing. Nobody got hurt.
The Red Cross is assisting all 3 families affected. Reporting in Chi-Line, Allie Toohey, News 8.
I'm interested as a journalist in the thinking behind the use of weapons.
Kimberly Sonnen and a crew from New York City called for the community to come back to the scene of a homicide that took place on this street in the spring.
It's an exploration into our collective consciousness and the unique brand of American violence.
One more here.
The project Vicarious Trauma invites those who live, work, and volunteer here to be photographed. Their portraits to make up a nationwide exhibit showcasing the faces of those touched by violence. Lawrence Richardson was gunned down here on Dayton Street in April. The gunman pulled out a handgun, opened fire, and fled. The 22-year-old Richardson was working to better the lives of young people at the Center for Teen Empowerment.
He really represented the word resilient. He grew. He was strong. He came back. He got on top, and he was ready to move forward in life with something positive.
Rochester is the first of a series of cities on this photo shoot, hoping to capture both the minds of the killer and the victim.
Many of the youth that are incarcerated in Rochester have actually been victims to a great deal of violence and trauma in their own lives.
For Richardson's cousin Rashad, It's about continuing Richardson's dream.
Lawrence was doing a lot for the community when he was taken away so soon. So for me, you know, with many other stories and many other people's legacies that I plan to continue, his is also a part of it.
Amy Young, News 8.
We love each other, we love to play against each other, and it really doesn't matter what we're doing, is the whole town comes out when we play.
Get it to Campbell.
They're playing as hard as they can. They're going to try to win this game, but it's all for a great cause.
I think it's supposed to be fun, but I mean, it's Webster, so I'm sure there's a little bit of competition in there too.
Let's go, Thomas! We wanted to do this because we lost some of our Webster firemen, and they were part of our Thomas family. And I felt like I needed to do something, and it was a way to get our kids to look forward to something and make them smile. It's very humbling, and it just goes to show what the town the Webster is. No, it's actually easier now that I'm here. It was kind of, you know, thinking about it at home today, I was wondering what the heck I was doing, but now that I'm here, I know it's the right thing. I feel so liberated. You have a very pretty scalp. Not even a little bit. As she was doing it, all my nerves went away. It just felt good. I was like, this is all right. So Monday's gonna be okay. The kids are excited.
The Rochester Lancers welcomed more than 10,000 fans to the Blue Cross Arena for First Responder Appreciation Day. The most moving part of the ceremony, when every single fan showed support for honorary team captain and local hero, Joseph Hofstetter.
Firefighters do cry, we're emotional, but to see a wounded warrior, a hero, it's going to be a big toll on everybody.
A standing ovation from the crowd and a salute from his fellow first responders. West Webster firefighter Joseph Hofstetter stepped out onto the soccer field, the public seeing him for the first time since the Christmas Eve tragedy.
It is exhilarating. I mean, all I can say is it's hard to even explain the emotion and the support we're getting from the Rochester community on a day like today. It's absolutely overwhelming.
Although Hofstetter didn't speak, his presence was enough. It was a way for the community to see that the injured hero was recovering. A line of firefighters, police officers, and EMTs stood by his side as the entire arena showed their love and support to all first responders.
Through such tragedy, it's been uplifting. It's really helped.
First Responder Appreciation Day brought in a record crowd for the Lancers game. More than 10,000 fans packed Blue Cross Arena. They bought custom-made t-shirts honoring the fallen heroes in all first responders.
It's a testament to Rochester and the community as a whole. I mean, it's unfortunate, obviously, what happened. But just seeing the community come together and just come support each other is unbelievable.
December 24th will never be forgotten. But first responders believe events like today's help not only the fire department, but the entire community move on.
It's been difficult, but you know, we've kept our sights forward, and we're trying to make the right decisions to move the department forward.
The firefighters and paramedics, we bond together like no other group does, so it's amazing to see that we bond together no matter what happens.
On top of donations from the public, the Lancers auctioned off their special first responder jerseys from today's game. More than $20,000 was raised for the West Webster Fire Department and the families affected by the tragedy. Ashley Zilka, News 8.
It's the end of an era here on East Avenue, and while this looks like the demolition of just another old building, to those in this community, it means so much more.
Bought my lunch there for almost 45 years.
Jim Lill left his job at Harris every day to get a bite at Wegmans.
Where the wood is right there was the original Wegmans store, and then the part beyond it was an addition.
Now machinery
You can't fight a machine like that.
is taking a bite out of his old store.
It's the end of an era, you know, because it's the last small store.
Demolition of the Rochester institution drew quite the crowd.
It's nuts. They just go.
Emily Verstrate is capturing a piece of the history. by documenting demolition for a city youth project.
But this is really cool, like being here, because I've never seen anything this big, like being torn apart.
Even a city fire crew stopped by to catch a glimpse. Just ask a kid, this is the coolest thing ever.
I want to see it all get knocked down because it would be like a great experience to see because I've never seen it before.
So out with the old.
You have to like get over that it's going to be knocked down.
And in with the new.
I know that there's like old memories here shopping at Wegmans, but then you got to make new memories at the new Wegmans.
Demolition of the old East Avenue Wegmans is expected to be complete by the end of March. In Rochester, Caroline Tucker, News 8.
And I'm proud that the church is finally stepping up and coming out of the fog of not wanting to deal with this very, very, very sensitive issue of HIV and AIDS.
That you would touch each and every one of those folks that are affected personally.
On this Sunday, Pastor Weldon Thomas's message hopes to reach those dealing with HIV and AIDS.
We're realizing that our congregations are being affected more and more. The person sitting on the pew to you may have a family member. We may have family members who we've had to funeralize, people who are now living with HIV and AIDS. And so pastors are becoming more sensitive to the fact that we must be at the forefront.
New Bethel CME Church provided free HIV and AIDS screening before and after this morning's service. The pastor also shared the pulpit with Dr. Michael Kiefer, a professor at the University of Rochester conducting clinical research on preventative vaccines that may one day be the answer to the epidemic.
The relatively, I think, sad part is that we've known for a number of years that the African American Latino communities are bearing a disproportionate burden of the illness. What's also distressing is really hitting young people.
Jackie Dozier with Minority Health Initiatives was also on hand to help guide those seeking help.
If we can touch the lives of just one person, then we've done some service.
Have mercy upon us.